Hi, my name's Marjorie, and I'm the director of the Little Compton Historical Society in Little Compton, Rhode Island, and the Wilbur House Museum. This is the Wilbur House Museum, and while we're all locked inside, I thought it might be fun to do 5-minute museum tours. So today we're going to look at the outside of the Wilbur House and talk a little bit about how it grew over time. You'll notice that the windows are different on both sides of the house. When the house was being turned into a museum in the 1950s, the people who were organizing that made the decision to show different parts of the house in different historical periods of time when each of the portions of the house was constructed. So today, this is the floor plan or the footprint of the house, but it certainly didn't start like this. Originally, around 1690, when Samuel and Mary Wilbur built the house, it was really just one room. It would have been located over here. It would have been a small one-room building with a loft, a lot like the houses we see at Plymouth Plantation today. Then Samuel and Mary would have built a much larger house with a large stone fireplace on one side. This type of house is very common in Little Compton in the 1600s, in the late 1600s, and it's called a Rhode Island stone ender. About 50 years later, the Wilbur family was getting much larger, and the house needed to take care of multiple generations of Wilburs. So the family more than doubled the size of the house and turned it into the colonial style house that we see today. And then finally, the last generation of Wilburs to live here around 1860 decided to add 2 Victorian kitchens to the house, one in the back and one on the side. 2 kitchens because the house had 2 separate households, Oliver and Abby Wilbur on one side and William and Susan Wilbur on the other side. Using large houses like this in Little Compton as separate apartments for related family members, living as separate households was very, very common right up until the 20th century.